and be redeemed. And I'm not talking about in business or to the world. I think it's a wrap for that.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
I mean, like, his soul.
Diddy's secret mansion hides more than just luxury. It conceals a dark history of scandal and survival. In a twist that has rocked Hollywood's underbelly, Diddy is now raging on Ally Carter for exposing his hidden freak-off mansion and the secrets it holds. The story begins with Ally Carter, an alleged survivor of a web of abuse and trafficking who first emerged into the spotlight back in November 2020. Carter, whose harrowing experiences include surviving MK Ultra, dissociative identity disorder, PTSD, satanic ritual abuse, police brutality, CPS corruption, and crimes against humanity, has not shied away from laying bare the dark corners of a world few dare to explore. In recent months, she has released a series of videos detailing the horrors she endured at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, where allegations of unspeakable acts have now taken center stage.
MK Ultra is used, but to get MK Ultra to take hold the way it needs to be, it has to involve satanic rituals, extreme trauma, humiliation, just evil on a level you can't imagine. I don't care what you all think about Trump. I'm not sure what I think about Trump, but he is telling you the truth on a lot of things. You guys just don't understand what he's saying. When he's saying they're eating the cats and dogs, he's preparing your hearts and your minds for the fact that satanic ritual is about to come into the light in a big way. Voodoo is about to come into the light in a big way. Cannibalism is about to come into the light in a big way. All of those things link to MK Ultra. And it all links to trafficking. Once you have MK Ultra in place, and once you've used satanic ritual to link into the MK Ultra and to program somebody, program the children, so you can use them as sex slaves or Delta assassins or whatever it is you want them to do.
And I used to think that if I wasn't yelling and screaming, that wasn't not true either. There is a lot going on with this case. These freak-off parties, they're not freak-off parties. There's a lot that happens. There's life-size wheels that people attach children to and spin it and decide who's having sex in what way. There are so many things. There's body cakes. There's party favors. And I'm talking like, you know how you put up a little birthday bag? Like when you go to a birthday party, and before you can leave, you can take one of those little birthday bags off the table. And then there's toys and like all this stuff for coming to the party. Yeah, instead of that, there's children. They call them party favors. Okay. I'm really trying to spit this out, but I'm really having a hard time tonight. I'm really having a hard time tonight, and I do not know why. I'm really having a hard time tonight because I've had to stop everything and turn around, and we're doing this again. And the thing is I can put out information.
Carter suggests that what appears accidental might actually be a signal, a burning clue linking trafficking networks to the lavish yet cursed mansion that Diddy has long tried to sell for a fortune.
A lot's about to come out. Another arrest is coming again. Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. explosions make accidental fires too, and then oops, we don't know how that happened, and then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to, and then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion or a fire, it wasn't an accident. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers. And it has a CPS document, a kit. I've had there's files, stacks of CPS documents, and somebody burned a building down, thought that they were just gonna get rid of it because they didn't want my truth to come out. Too late. Too late. There are stacks and copies all over the United States of America and out of it. Too late. Okay. Police reports, SART kits. I've had so many kits, I've lost count. So many times I lost count. I really did lose count. At one point I thought, like, hey, maybe I'll have that story one day. Okay, it happened like 5 times. It happened like 7 times. It happened like 10 times. After so many, I lost count. Some things in the CPS reports. And one of the Johns that I have had too many orders with. I say that I'm broken, but I know that I'm not broken beyond repair. I know that I'm loved more than I can imagine. I have a family now, thanks to y'all. So many 90s angels that have been my mom's biggest support team, and family that we never thought we would have.
This mansion, nestled in the heart of Beverly Hills, is more than just a piece of real estate. Originally purchased a decade ago for $40 million, the sprawling property was meant to be a lucrative asset for the mogul. However, now listed at a staggering $61.5 million, its appeal has sharply diminished. Real estate insiders report that the mansion, already burdened by its notorious history, has attracted only a handful of potential buyers. One prospective visitor confessed to being creeped out by the lingering shadows of Diddy's freak-off allegations, linking the opulent halls of the mansion with memories of past scandals.
I love this little walkway going from the garage to the house. There's even a tennis court back there. There's a 4-car garage over here too.
Even though we're technically in the suburbs, out here it feels like you're miles away from everything. The backyard, it's a sanctuary of luxury. You got a 60,000-gallon saltwater pool, a jacuzzi, a built-in barbecue, and a pool house with a kitchen, all surrounded by enough deck space to lose track of time.
This right here is the pool house. I mean, it looks like something straight out of a 1990s hip-hop music video. Look at this tile mural. Wow. bathrooms, changing rooms for the pool. Man, look at this.
Everything about this mansion is over the top. It's a place that was meant to be seen, meant to make a statement, and boy, did it ever.
Yet, the intrigue deepens as Carter's revelations throw an unyielding spotlight on the hidden underbelly of Diddy's empire. In candid interviews, she described the parties as far more than just hedonistic gatherings. They weren't freak-offs, they were satanic ritual orgies, she asserted, emphasizing that the gatherings involved not only consenting adults, but also exploited child victims. Her testimony has ignited outrage, prompting both fans and critics to question how a figure as influential as Diddy could be entangled in such disturbing practices. The shock factor intensifies as she names prominent celebrities, including even Oprah, implying their connection to the dark rituals that unfolded behind closed doors.
If there's a round of kids, it's the trafficker. P. Diddy gets a round of kids. Let's say that round of kids had Justin Bieber in it. There's contracts, okay? There's contracts for codes within that person. So they can take a remote and turn that person off. Britney Spears, when they want to. Lindsay Lohan, when they want to. Amanda Bynes, when they want to, okay? So let's say there's a contract for Justin Bieber. When P. Diddy has a hold of Justin Bieber, he now owns half of those codes. If Usher had the same contract and trafficked Bieber out to P. Diddy, okay, Usher and P. Diddy now have parts of Justin Bieber's contract. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if one goes down, the other side of the code has to go down. If there's a property linked to that person, Kevin Hart, because they had something to do with the trafficking of Bieber, then their property will go down because there's a code to that property. There's a code to everything. Your social security number is like a code. Okay? But depending on the level of MK Ultra, people have auctions for the codes on that person. Let me tell you something. They make sure in those parties that they have blackmail evidence. So if they go down, they taking everybody down with them. I pray to God that this is the day. I pray to God that this is the time, because all the victims deserve some type of justice, and it's just a matter of taking accountability and somebody saying, we are fucking sorry. I see people running and trying to jump on survivors just for the Diddy issue. That's not the only issue. We had someone come at me and asking, didn't even ask about our safety, didn't even ask for a proof of identification. They just wanted to fly us out to Texas and put us on a TV set. No, thank you. Why? Because that TV set was linked to Oprah. No, thank you.
Social media exploded when Carter's videos began circulating. The video rapidly garnered over 2 million views and thousands of reposts as viewers speculated about the links between the catastrophic Los Angeles wildfires and the alleged trafficking networks. Comments poured in. One user noted, "Something nefarious is definitely going on," while another mused about the eerie similarity between the origin of the fires and the hidden sinister activities Carter described.
Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles mansion has been spared from the rampant flames engulfing the ritzy neighborhoods where several high-profile celebrities live. The flames have left 24 Californians dead, decimated 40,300 acres of land, and wrecked more than 12,300 structures. But the disgraced rapper's 17,000 square foot home, closely located to the chaos, has remained unscathed. The lavish house in Holmby Hills sits just outside of the Palisades fire's path, but has not been damaged by the disaster. Many celebrities who live in or near the Pacific Palisades area have been forced out of the neighborhoods. Anthony Hopkins, Paris Hilton, and John Goodman are just among the stars whose stunning mansions have been reduced to ash and rubble. As LA continues to battle these fires, Combs sits in his jail cell at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center as he awaits trial. He faces a slew of charges including trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy. Some have even made baseless claims that the fires may have been started to cover up Diddy's alleged sex crimes and protect any allies he may have left.
Early 2000s, Diddy was riding high, with his influence reaching new heights as both a music mogul and an entrepreneur. But beneath the polished image, the shadows of darker accusations begin to surface. What initially seemed like isolated claims soon snowballed into a growing series of sexual misconduct and abuse allegations that cast a long, sinister shadow over his empire. In 2003, a shocking lawsuit emerged, accusing Diddy and his close associate Harvey Peeper of serious misconduct. The unnamed 17-year-old woman alleged that she was invited to a New York recording studio with the expectation of meeting Diddy for a potential career opportunity. But what unfolded there was far from what she had envisioned. She claimed that once inside the studio, she was drugged and subsequently assaulted by Diddy and Pierre. The details of the incident were deeply troubling, as she described a scenario where she had lost control of her faculties, making it impossible for her to consent to anything. The assault was reportedly filmed, adding another layer of distress to the ordeal. The lawsuit, though filed anonymously, gained attention and painted a picture of abuse and exploitation with Diddy's inner circle. Pierre's involvement as a top executive at Bad Boy Records deepened the gravity of the situation, raising questions about how widespread such behaviors might have been.
As Diddy's legal troubles mount following his arrest, every new detail seems to compound the mystery. His mansion, once a symbol of success and glamour, has transformed into a white elephant, a monument to scandal. The property's association with a Homeland Security raid in March has only added to its ominous reputation. Once envisioned as a crown jewel asset, the mansion now stands as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked power and the exposure of buried secrets.
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs. Let's bring in CNN security correspondent Josh Campbell and CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Josh, let me start with you. What do these raids by federal agents in multiple locations tell you about the seriousness of this investigation?
Yeah, Wolf, a very significant development here, seeing this law enforcement action taking place. I'll point out, just to be clear at the outset, we don't know that Sean Diddy Combs himself is the subject or target of a federal investigation. So it's just worth pointing that out at this hour. But what we do know is that two properties associated with him, we saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage, federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. That is it, confirming that they are conducting what they're deeming law enforcement action, which could indicate search warrants being conducted there, could indicate arrests being conducted. We just don't know at this hour specifically what that law enforcement action is.
They're going to probably be arresting me just because we want to have a good time.
Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of gun ammo and Grammy Awards. New images from TMZ show inside Diddy's ransacked Beverly Hills mansion during the coast-to-coast raids where no arrests were made.
People in the home are traditionally detained during raids, so they don't flee and so they don't destroy evidence.
The rapper's attorney calls it a witch hunt with an excessive show of force and hostility that led to a premature rush to judgment, adding Diddy will continue to fight every single day to clear his name.
They don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
So, where's the 54-year-old now? Unclear, but his jet that traveled to Antigua from LA on Monday just landed in Miami today. That's where Diddy was last seen, reportedly bound for a Caribbean spring vacation with his two daughters. Also with him, an associate, Brendan Paul, who was arrested for alleged possession. He's been accused in a lawsuit of being a, quote, mule for Diddy, but hasn't commented. At least 5 lawsuits have been filed, nearly all by those claiming Diddy and forced them into having sex.
In response to these explosive claims, Diddy has fired back with a barrage of denials, accusing Ali Carter of fabricating stories to tarnish his legacy. His rage is palpable as he lashes out against the survivor who dared to reveal the inner workings of his private domain. Yet, his vehement rebuttals do little to quell the mounting evidence and public outcry. The controversy is not merely about sensational headlines. It reflects a broader reckoning with power, privilege, and the exploitation of the vulnerable.
Sean Diddy Combs is denying allegations of rape, physical abuse, and sex trafficking by his ex-girlfriend, R&B star Cassie Ventura, in a disturbing new lawsuit. In a complaint filed in federal court on November 16th and obtained by E! News, Cassie claims she was the victim of Combs's violence during their 11-year relationship. The star, who met Combs back in 2005 when she was 19, says the musician aggressively pursued a relationship with her despite their nearly 20-year age difference, and the fact that they were both in romantic relationships with other partners. In the lawsuit, Cassie alleges over the course of their relationship that the rapper regularly beat her up, repeatedly forced her to have sex with male prostitutes while he filmed it. The complaint also alleges Diddy, quote, blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura. She says in 2018, when trying to leave the relationship, Diddy forced her into her own home and raped her. She also makes the allegation that he's responsible for getting her addicted to drugs and alcohol. E! News has reached out to Cassie's rep for comment and did not immediately hear back. In a statement to E! News, Diddy's lawyer, Ben Braffman, says Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Miss Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail.
25 minors are
That's
involved.
Right. The age range from as young as 9.
A lot of negative energy and negative vibes coming from everywhere.
Could the allegations that Diddy sexually assaulted minors upend his legal team's entire defense strategy?
I think prosecutors would look very closely at potentially adding those charges to the case. We know Diddy's lawyers have gone public and said that the sexual activity happened, but it was all consensual. Minors can never consent to sex.
Diddy's lawyer vehemently denies, quote, any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. His next status hearing for the federal case is October 9th.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them.
Taking a close look at Diddy's 2023 Act Bad music video, it appears the rapper boldly acted out those freak-offs.
They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs.
When I say act bad, I just mean be free, man. We ain't trying to hurt nobody, and don't act bad every day. You gotta do that sparingly.
Adding another layer of complexity, Carter revealed in an interview with Stu Peters in December 2024 that she was trafficked through underground tunnels located beneath schools, amusement parks, and even cemeteries. Her chilling account suggests that the fires, which she warned would eventually be understood as linked to trafficking, are just one facet of a far-reaching network of abuse. The repeated message, "Watch for those fires," serves as a dire omen that hints at further revelations yet to come.
I started moving and trying to get out of where I was. I was with the friend that I came in with, who was freaking out. She was hyperventilating, she was crying, she was trying everything to get out, and it made us get deeper in. The lower you go, the harder it is to get out. No one knows where the doors are. No one knows where the exits are. No one knows where some of these tunnels lead to. So it's not as easy to just say, I'm just gonna get out, or I'm just going to try to find a way out. If you are walked in, you're escorted in, somebody has to help you get out. After what happened, we had to leave. Again, I don't know what was going on. I'm still not sure what happened that night. There's a baby farm that exists. There's all ages. There's kids who don't act like kids. They act like wild animals. They hiss at you. They act like wild animals. They've never, I know some of them have been there since probably birth or before. There's baby farms that exist underground. Your hospitals are complicit in giving babies to baby farms. And when I say, I'm talking newborn babies fresh out of the hospital. I've seen a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of my friends die. There's so much that goes on. There's so much that goes on.
And it's not, so these particular things that you're talking about now, these extreme, horrific acts, this is reserved for the elites. Is that correct?
Yes. They get away with eating, beating, torturing, buying children from many places, and it also feeds their career. Selling your soul doesn't necessarily mean selling your soul for money. It means selling out for things that you're willing to do, a dedication to what they call their God. Then people compete with that. Everybody is competing with that, trying to do something equal or worse.
Meanwhile, the fallout from Diddy's scandal has seeped into the high-stakes world of real estate. Once the epitome of luxury, his Beverly Hills mansion now repels potential buyers who are unwilling to invest in a property shrouded in scandal. With its ridiculous asking price in a notorious past marked by a Homeland Security raid, the mansion has become an unwelcome relic of Diddy's former empire. One agent remarked that touring the property felt like stepping into a living nightmare where opulence and horror coexist in an unsettling harmony.
It seems that embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is selling his L.A. mansion. The Holmby Hills estate was the site of a federal raid that Fox 11 first broke back in March. According to TMZ, Combs is looking to sell the off-market for $70 million. The raid was part of a sex trafficking investigation, a grand jury now hearing evidence in that probe. Meanwhile, Diddy is still facing several lawsuits linked to multiple sex abuse allegations. Diddy has denied those allegations.
Located in Holmby Hills, P. Diddy's $61 million mansion is shrouded in mystery. This massive estate, complete with 17,000 square feet of luxury, hides more than just secrets. There's a chilling history linked to crime and scandal. Though owned by one of hip-hop's most famous moguls, no one seems willing to buy P. Diddy's $61 million mansion. Are the disturbing history of sex crimes and scandals surrounding this property to blame? Will this luxury home ever find a buyer, or is it haunted by its past? Would you buy it for the right price? P. Diddy's $61 million Holmby Hills mansion is struggling to sell, and Bo Belmont, an investor, recently offered just $30 million, half the asking price. Why so low? The property's dark history of scandals, including alleged crimes linked to Diddy, might be scaring buyers away. Plus, rehabbing this 17,000 square foot estate to erase those memories won't be cheap. Interestingly, Bo also snapped up Kanye West's Malibu mansion. Are they betting on a future flip or just waiting for Diddy to drop the price? Would you invest in a mansion with this past?
The truth unfolds as a tapestry of power and vulnerability. Every piece of evidence, every warning from ally Carter, and every rebuttal from Diddy fuels the suspense. As legal battles and shifting public opinion persist, the exposed secrets of the Freakoff Mansion have irrevocably changed celebrity culture forever.
Though Combs was eventually acquitted on the weapons charge, the incident further solidified his reputation for living beyond the bounds of the law. But the story doesn't end here. If anything, it's just the beginning. The freak-off parties that began in 1998 now cast long shadows over Combs' legacy, and the survivors of those who witnessed his rise and reign are finally coming forward.
And be redeemed. And I'm not talking about in business or to the world. I think it's a wrap for that.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
I mean, like, his soul.
I never liked him. I met him a bunch of times, but I never liked him.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
About my party, they're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me.
When they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to them. I put him to sleep.
No, I mean the after party. You need locks on the doors.
No, I know about them.
A lot of heat.
Physically, the place has to be hot.
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
How do I address you?
You can call me Love.
Is Ally Carter's explosive testimony the final nail in the coffin of Diddy's dark empire? Is his furious backlash over the exposure of his secret freak-off mansion just a desperate bid to bury his scandalous past? Or are we witnessing the first sparks of an even deeper conspiracy that could upend the world of hip-hop? If you want to stay ahead of every twist in this unfolding drama, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the truth is igniting, and you won't want to miss a single blazing moment.